is Morgan Calcote, General Manager and Wine Director at Fig Restaurant in Charleston, South Carolina, and today we're talking about wine. When I'm selecting for the wine list, I'm looking for things that are going to be good choices for the menu, no matter what the menu is that day or what time of year it is. Often that ends up being for us wines that are old world or old world in style. So wine selections for the menu at Fig, for what you may be cooking at home, kind of fell into a few categories for me. First off, champagne. Again, never a bad choice. Always good place to get started. It's a good place to finish. It's a good place to stay for the entire meal. Couple that I love to go to, Baresh is a house that I really enjoy. It is classic champagne grapes, Chardonnay, Pinot Noir. They just make a really great dry champagne that has good fruit and has great acidity and can carry you through seafood courses or really vegetable driven courses, and can also sit alongside a fruit driven dessert at the end of the meal. If you're moving kind of further into your meal or you want to skip the bubbles entirely, there's your classic Chablis, so Chardonnay from the very northern reaches of Burgundy. Domaine Pat Loup, run by a man named Thomas Picot. He started aging his Chablis a little longer than maybe the average producer does. Works beautifully with fish, works beautifully with vegetables, can work with kind of like buttery, citrusy sauces, and just kind of generally is very satisfying. Gruner Veltliner is another variety that we work with often at this restaurant. Gruner is a variety of wine that pairs well with traditionally hard to pair with dishes. So in the springtime when asparagus and kind of all those green alliums and ramps are in the picture, this is our best friend because asparagus doesn't pair well with many things. Gobelsberg, about as old school as it gets in the Kemptal region of Austria. This is one of their single vineyard site wines. People traditionally drink rosé like in the summertime, or traditionally drink red wine like when the weather is cooler, but there's no rules that say that you can't enjoy a full-bodied red wine in the summertime. Sangiovese and certain Cabernet Francs and Montepulciano d'Abruzzo can be really great with things like barbecue in the summertime. And then I also kind of get a little fatigued, as much as I love them, on the super bright light rosés that are so abundant and so table-friendly. Sometimes I'm looking for something a little more oomph to it. Icaro is a great example of that. Red and white grapes made together into a more robustly styled rosé. It's like your best friend in tomato season. It works so well. On the red wine front, these things work across a range of dishes and seasons. Pinot Noir is such a table-friendly grape variety. It's grown almost everywhere in the world. Serratos makes wines that I think are amazing. John Raytek is the winemaker here, and he has a very kind of obvious love for things Burgundy and for very specific, very unique sites in California. Another kind of favorite as a producer, but certainly not as a variety, is Cabernet Franc from the Loire Valley. This bottling, Domaine de Clozières, is a 100% Cabernet Franc. It does a great job of doing what we have to do so often on the table at Fig, is putting a bottle of the wine in the middle of a table that has very diverse different dishes and flavor profiles in front of each guest. It can work with a braised meat, it can work with a tomato dish, it can work with a richer fish dish, it can work with vegetables, and it pulls everything all together really beautifully. This is Morgan at Fig Restaurant. We've been talking about wine pairings. Cheers.